In the small, unsuspecting town of Ravenswood, where the veil between the mundane and the supernatural was thinner than most dared to acknowledge, a curious relic emerged from the shadows. The Ebon Grimoire. Rumored to hold dark secrets and eldritch incantations, the ancient tome found its way into the hands of Professor Adrian Blackwood, an occult historian drawn to the forbidden knowledge it promised. As Professor Blackwood delved into the pages of the Ebon Grimoire, a sinister force awakened. Unseen by mortal eyes, a demonic entity stirred, drawn by the scent of forbidden knowledge. The professor, unaware of the malevolent presence lurking in the shadows, unwittingly unleashed a horror that would consume Ravenswood. In the dead of night, whispers echoed through Ravenswood, a chilling symphony of voices that spoke of ancient pacts and demonic bargains. The townsfolk, unsettled by the unnerving sounds, dismissed them as mere figments of imagination. Little did they know that the whispers were the first tendrils of the demonic entity's influence. Drawn to the allure of power, a desperate soul in Ravenswood succumbed to the whispers. Ignorant of the malevolent force behind the haunting voices, the townsfolk entered into a profane bargain, unknowingly sealing their fate. The demonic entity reveled in the growing web of corruption that spread like a cancer through the town. As the demonic entity fed on the tainted souls of Ravenswood, the veil between dimensions grew thinner. Shadows danced with unnatural fervor, and the air itself became charged with an otherworldly energy. The townsfolk, now puppets in a malevolent play, felt the darkening veil suffocate their once peaceful lives. The demon, drawn to the mortal realm by the Ebon Grimoire's forbidden lore, took on a deceptive guise. Cloaked in shadows and disguised among the townsfolk, it observed their lives with an insatiable hunger. The demonic entity reveled in the chaos it sowed, manipulating events like a malevolent puppeteer pulling invisible strings. As the town descended into madness, paranormal investigators arrived in Ravenswood. Among them was Cassandra Hart, a clairvoyant with an innate ability to sense the supernatural. Unbeknownst to her, the demonic entity watched from the shadows, intrigued by the prospect of a worthy adversary. Cassandra, haunted by vivid visions of demonic sigils and ethereal whispers, delved into the occult mysteries that plagued Ravenswood. The townsfolk, now trapped in a waking nightmare, sought refuge in the shadows as the demonic entity reveled in the chaos it had orchestrated. In her quest for the truth, Cassandra uncovered the profane bargain that bound Ravenswood to the demonic entity. The Ebon Grimoire, once a key to forbidden knowledge, now became a cursed artifact, a conduit through which the demon's influence permeated every corner of the town. Armed with occult knowledge and an unwavering determination, Cassandra sought to confront the demonic entity. As she delved into the Ebon Grimoire's secrets, the demon, amused by her audacity, revealed itself. The confrontation became a battle of wills, with the fate of Ravenswood hanging in the balance. In an eldritch battle that transcended the mortal plane, Cassandra faced the demonic entity. Shadows twisted and contorted, and the air pulsed with malevolent energy. The very fabric of reality seemed to unravel as the clairvoyant and the demon engaged in a struggle that echoed through the dimensions. The eldritch battle, though fierce, ended in a deadlock. The demonic entity, unable to fully manifest in the mortal realm, retaliated by intensifying its grip on the townsfolk. Madness descended like a shroud, and the once sane residents succumbed to hallucinations and delusions. As the demonic entity strained against the confines of the mortal realm, the veil between dimensions fractured. Reality itself trembled, and the very foundation of Ravenswood became a battleground for the supernatural forces at play. Cassandra, now burdened by the weight of the town's despair, sought a way to mend the fractured veil and banish the demon once and for all. In a desperate bid to restore balance, Cassandra sought out forgotten rituals and ancient incantations. Guided by spectral visions and ethereal voices, she embarked on an eldritch journey to mend the fractured veil. The town, now on the brink of madness, awaited the outcome of her otherworldly quest. In a secluded ritual site, Cassandra performed the mystic convergence, a powerful incantation meant to mend the fractured veil. The very air trembled with eldritch energy, and the demonic entity, sensing its imminent banishment, fought against the impending expulsion. As the mystic convergence reached its zenith, the fractured veil began to mend. The demonic entity, unable to withstand the eldritch forces, howled in agony as it was banished back to the depths from which it came. The shadows that clung to Ravenswood dissipated, and the town emerged from the abyss of madness. In the aftermath of the banishment, Cassandra stood amidst the now silent town. The air, once heavy with malevolence, became breathable again. The townsfolk, freed from the demonic influence, awoke from the nightmare that had ensnared them. Realizing the danger that the Ebon Grimoire posed, Cassandra sought to ensure its rest. With an understanding of its dark potential, she concealed the ancient tome in a place where its forbidden knowledge would remain dormant. The relic, now guarded against unwary hands, became a testament to the enduring vigilance required to protect the veil between worlds. As Ravenswood returned to a semblance of normalcy, the townsfolk bore the scars of their ordeal. The silent vigil of those who had witnessed the supernatural struggle served as a reminder of the fragility of the veil that separated their world from the eldritch horrors that lurked beyond. Cassandra, having weathered the supernatural storm, left Ravenswood with the weight of its occult legacy on her shoulders. The town, forever marked by the demonic entity's influence, stood as a cautionary tale, a testament to the insidious forces that could breach the veil between worlds. As Cassandra departed, the echoes of the eldritch battle resonated through Ravenswood. The townsfolk, forever changed by the ordeal, carried the ominous resonance of the supernatural struggle in their hearts. The veil, though mended, bore the scars of the demonic entity's brief intrusion into the mortal realm. Despite the return to normalcy, lingering shadows clung to Ravenswood. The once curious town, now scared by the demonic entity's malevolence, faced an uncertain future. The silent vigil continued, a testament to the enduring awareness required to guard against the encroaching darkness. In the years that followed, Ravenswood endured. The town, marked by its occult legacy, became a beacon of caution for those who dared to explore the forbidden realms of the supernatural. The veil, though tested, proved its endurance against the malevolent forces that sought to breach its boundaries. As Ravenswood stood on the precipice of normalcy and the supernatural, unseen watchers lingered in the shadows, the eldritch battle, though a distant memory, served as a reminder that the veil between worlds was a fragile barrier, one that required eternal vigilance to safeguard against the lurking horrors that waited beyond. The residents of Ravenswood, forever changed by their brush with the supernatural, understood the eternal struggle that defined their town. The veil, a boundary between the seen and the unseen, symbolized the delicate balance required to navigate the mysteries of the occult without succumbing to the malevolent forces that lurked in the shadows. Ravenswood, with its enduring spirit, faced an uncertain but hopeful future. The town, having weathered the eldritch storm, became a testament to the resilience of the living against the unseen. The silent watchers, their vigil eternal, bore witness to the town's enduring legacy, a legacy shaped by the supernatural struggle that had unfolded in the shadowy corners of Ravenswood. As Ravenswood continued its uneasy existence, whispers lingered in the air, remnants of the malevolent force that had once seized the town. Those who listened closely could hear ethereal echoes, a haunting reminder of the eldritch battle that had played out in the shadows. The townsfolk, though scared by the ordeal, began to rebuild their lives. Yet, some claimed to catch glimpses of shadowy figures in the corners of their vision, and others spoke of dreams haunted by the lingering presence of the demonic entity. The veil, though mended, bore the scars of an ancient struggle that refused to fade entirely. Word of Ravenswood's supernatural plight spread beyond its borders. Paranormal investigators and occult scholars flocked to the town, drawn by the allure of the eldritch battle that had unfolded. Among them was Dr. Evelyn Sinclair, a renowned expert in demonology, who arrived with a determination to uncover the town's lingering mysteries. Dr. Sinclair, armed with a vast knowledge of the supernatural, delved into Ravenswood's history. The townsfolk, wary yet willing to share their tales, recounted the harrowing events that had transpired. As Dr. Sinclair sifted through the whispers and remnants of the malevolent force, she sensed an unsettling energy that clung to Ravenswood like a shroud. As Dr. Sinclair conducted her investigations, tensions simmered beneath the surface of Ravenswood. The lingering shadows, though subdued, still held a spectral resonance. Unseen forces tugged at the veil, testing its endurance and revealing that the malevolent entity's banishment had not erased its influence entirely. In the midst of Dr. Sinclair's inquiries, signs of an eldritch resurgence emerged. Strange phenomena returned. Whispers intensified, shadows deepened, and the air once again crackled with an otherworldly energy. The veil, weakened by the past ordeal, quivered as the malevolent force sought to exploit its vulnerabilities. Sensing the encroaching darkness, Dr. Sinclair gathered a group of experts in the occult. Together, they conducted a paranormal convergence, a ritual meant to strengthen the veil and ward off the malevolent entity's resurgence. The townsfolk, both fearful and hopeful, watched as the experts chanted incantations and performed arcane gestures. As the ritual unfolded, an astral fortress materialized on the outskirts of Ravenswood. A barrier of shimmering energy surrounded the town, a safeguard against the eldritch forces that sought to breach the veil. The townsfolk, their eyes wide with a mixture of awe and trepidation, witnessed the manifestation of a protective barrier woven from the very fabric of the supernatural. Within the astral fortress, ethereal wardens stood vigilant. Spirits bound to the task of guarding Ravenswood against malevolent entities, they patrolled the edges of the veil, ensuring that the eldritch forces remained at bay. The wardens, their forms flickering with otherworldly light, became the silent protectors of the town's fragile equilibrium. As the astral fortress held strong, a silent struggle unfolded between the ethereal wardens and the malevolent force. Shadows danced along the edges of the barrier, attempting to find weak points and exploit the town's vulnerabilities. The veil quivered under the strain, and the townsfolk, though shielded by the protective barrier, felt the subtle tremors of the unseen battle. In the dead of night, the veil thinned. Dr. Sinclair, attuned to the supernatural currents, sensed an impending unveiling, a moment when the eldritch forces would make their presence known. The townsfolk, cloaked in a mixture of anticipation and fear, awaited the revelation that would determine Ravenswood's fate. As the unseen struggle reached its zenith, the demonic entity sought to manifest once more. Shadows coalesced, and an otherworldly silhouette emerged on the outskirts of Ravenswood. The ethereal wardens, resolute in their duty, confronted the malevolent force, engaging in a silent battle that transcended the mortal plane. In the astral realm, the wardens faced the demonic manifestation. The air crackled with supernatural energy as the wardens, guardians of the veil, confronted the malevolent force that sought to breach the town's defenses. The townsfolk, their eyes wide with a mixture of dread and fascination, bore witness to the ethereal confrontation that unfolded beyond their perception. In an ethereal exorcism, the wardens chanted incantations that resonated through the astral fortress. Light clashed with darkness, and the very fabric of the supernatural trembled under the strain. Dr. Sinclair, guided by her expertise in demonology, played a crucial role in directing the wardens' efforts to banish the malevolent force once and for all. With an otherworldly surge of power, the wardens banished the demonic entity. Shadows recoiled, and the malevolent force dissipated into the astral abyss. The veil, though strained, held firm, and the astral fortress stood as a testament to the town's resilience against the encroaching darkness. As the aftershocks of the ethereal confrontation subsided, Ravenswood stood on the precipice of a new beginning. The townsfolk, though wearied by the supernatural struggle, felt a sense of triumph as the astral fortress remained steadfast. Dr. Sinclair, her expertise acknowledged, became a figure of respect among the townspeople. In the quiet moments that followed, the ethereal wardens silently watched over Ravenswood. The townsfolk, grateful for the protection offered by the astral fortress, carried a silent gratitude in their hearts. The veil, though tested, endured, and the town emerged from the ordeal with a newfound understanding of the delicate balance required to coexist with the supernatural. With the malevolent force banished once more, the ethereal wardens continued their ongoing vigil. The astral fortress, now a permanent fixture on the outskirts of Ravenswood, served as a reminder of the town's enduring struggle against the unseen. The veil, though scared by the ethereal battles, held firm against the eldritch forces that perpetually sought to breach its boundaries. As Ravenswood returned to a semblance of normalcy, the ethereal wardens became the silent watchers of the town's destiny. The townsfolk, forever changed by the supernatural struggles, carried the lessons of the eldritch battles in their hearts. The astral fortress, a beacon in the night, symbolized the enduring spirit of Ravenswood against the shadows that lurked beyond the veil. In the years that followed, Ravenswood embraced its legacy as a town touched by the supernatural. The veil, though forever scared, endured as a testament to the enduring resilience of the living against the unseen. The ethereal wardens, their silent watch continuing, became the guardians of Ravenswood's delicate equilibrium, a town forever marked by the eldritch battles that had unfolded within its shadowy confines.